Mike Johnson, theocrat in the streets, and just a really weird guy in the sheets. The Republican Speaker of the House, pictured here, shortly after throwing an elderly woman down a flight of stairs, Mike Johnson appears to have an addiction to porn, while having a name that would be pretty good for porn, Mike Johnson. And this Handmaid's Tale come to life. What's his solution? What's his cure for his addiction? Well, it's what any sane grown male, I don't know, what is he, like 50? It's what any sane grown 50-year-old male solution to his porn addiction would be. And that is to share all the porn you watch, every waking moment of the day, with your teenage son. I guess the theory being that a family that beats off together stays together? I mean, I don't know. I'm not the theocrat, so let's listen to him in his own words.
So Covenant Eyes is the
Covenant
software
Eyes.
that we've been using a long time in our household. I first learned about it at, I think, a Promise Keepers event in the early 2000s. I
Promise
think it was
Keepers are
developed
right-wing
in about the year
Christian
2000.
radical
But it's the
men.
largest accountability software that there is, and there's some paperwork out there on the table that I think everybody may have picked up on the way in. If not, go get it. It's a subscription-based. I mean, we don't make any money on this. I'm telling you, we use it. Okay, I'm endorsing it because I'm a user. It's about $15 a month.
He wants you to know that they're not sponsoring him. Covenant Eyes. He's just a weirdo on his own.
It's about $15 a month, $16 a month, something like that. And you get up to 10 devices. And what it is, it's accountability software. So men in a church, men's Bible study groups will do it. That's how it's presented at Promise Keepers. But they also mention, hey, when your kids become teenagers, especially if you have boys, dads, they're talking to the guys at this event, you might want to think about doing this with your sons. And so we've been doing that. And so what it does real simply is it has an algorithm and software. It's way above my head how it works, but it scans. You obviously opt into it, but it scans all the activity on your phone or your devices, your laptop, tablet, what have you. We do all of it. And then it sends a report to your accountability partner. So my accountability partner right now is Jack, my son, right? And so he's 17. So he and I get a...
Any women out there, just know that this is the guy who wants to take your right to choose your own healthcare away. This guy who comes home to his underage son, who's his accountability partner, and then his underage son has to be like, hey dad, look, I found this pair of tits on your phone. Did you beat off today? And then his dad's like, oh yeah, I went into the bathroom at the fucking Capitol and I beat off, son. And then I don't know what, they pray together? They cry together? They just go eat dinner together? Do they tell mom? What the fuck? I mean, and his kid's like 16 or 17 or whatever. And if he looks at any porn, it goes to his dad. Just imagine if he's gay. Well, I don't know. Judge him by how invested Mike Johnson is. They might share similar tabs if that was the case. I mean, his poor son has to revert to what we did when we were kids, right? Steal some Hustler magazines. Keep them under your bed. He's got to go back to analog. And there is a 100%, there is a 1,000% chance that Mike Johnson has a beater phone, right? One with the air gap, one that doesn't have this software on it. Now, all that aside, this is the sitting Speaker of the House for the Republican Party. And he's talking about a software on 10 to 20 devices or whatever he said that takes pictures of every single thing he looks at. And I'm sure an app that he downloaded on his phone that he pays $17 for called Covenant Eyes would never abuse that access. I mean, when has religion ever been used to abuse anything except for boys for the past 2,000 years? But I digress. One more time. The Speaker of the House is getting every single email he receives, every bit of communication, snapshotted. Old enough to remember when a private server in Hillary's house was a literal 5-star alarm. This right-wing weirdo, who it sounds like whatever he's looking at that he needs help with is susceptible to blackmail. Because I don't need an app to tell me not to look at a pair of tits. So whatever he's looking at, he's trying really hard to abstain from it. So I bet it, my guess would be it's borderline illegal, if not illegal, right? If you need a $17 subscription a month, Alcoholics Anonymous is cheaper than this. If you need to pay $17 a month to be shamed out of looking at something, I'm just saying, not to question the integrity of an app on a phone that actively runs malware all day on 10 to 20 devices. Not to question the integrity of such company. But what would stop them from selling any of this information to Russia, Iran, whoever you want? Through the 80s, through the 90s, gay people couldn't get jobs in the security industry because they were open to blackmail. Mike Johnson and his son, I don't know, Little Johnson, I don't know what his son's name is. The two Johnson boys, their addiction to porn and whatever they're looking at, the weird stuff, is a national security risk.
All the things that are on our phones or all of our devices once a week, if anything objectionable comes up,
Hey, Dad.
your accountability partner gets an immediate
They just stared
notice.
at
I'm
like
proud to
20
tell you, my
tits
son
today.
He's got a clean slate, all right? But we get a report and it says, hey, no
Sure he does.
activity of concern, and it's
Sure
really
he
sensitive.
does.
It'll pick up almost anything. It looks for keywords, search terms, and also images.
What's this move?
And it will
Really
send your
sensitive.
accountability
Wait, hold
partner
on,
a
pause
blurred
it. What's this
activity
move?
of
Watch, he
concern,
says
and
really
it's really,
sensitive,
really
he does the
sensitive. It'll
ball
pick up
tickling
almost
move.
anything. It looks for keywords, search terms, and also images, and it will send your accountability partner a blurred picture of the image.
Really sensitive?
So on occasion I get one, I was just looking at the one from this week I got on Jack, and it said, this is the only one that may be questionable, and it's this blurred image of two women
Wait,
talking.
hold on. So his accountability partner, who's also his son, is named Jack, and Jack is accountable to keep his dad, Mike Johnson, from jacking off. Jack off. And you're telling me we're not living in a simulation right now?
Questionable, and it's this blurred image of two women
This is so
talking
weird.
in a live screen thing, and I zoom in,
If
and I
you
have to
don't think this
unblur
is
it,
weird,
and it's
you're
two
fucking
middle-aged
weirdos.
teachers talking. He was in the Bossier Youth Leadership thing, and so he was having a dialogue as a group with these women, but it caught it because here's two women talking to my
He's
son.
just
right?
into
So,
MILF
It's
porn.
very sensitive. It's a great accountability thing.
There's
If
two
you
middle-aged
know
teachers talking
that
about
your dad or
critical
your son
race
or your
theory.
Bible study partner, whatever, is going to see what you're doing, that's pretty good incentive to keep.
After last night's losses in Ohio and Kentucky and the pushback against abortion and Mike Johnson controlling your body, I want every female to watch this. These Lindsey Graham, Tim Scott, these weirdos. And that's what they are. This is weird, all right? Sending your kid pictures of what you look at online so you don't jack off is weird. I mean, just saying that out loud should make you understand, if you think it's okay, that that's a weird thing. This is by all accounts, and Mike Johnson is the guy pushing for it. This is by all accounts the religious right wing's last shot, their last attempt to peel back our democratic republic and start instilling theocratic pillars. So while it might be funny that Mike Johnson and his son Jack Off are doing this together, sending each other porn reports, make no mistake, they want this to be all of us. They want this software on everyone's computer, so we all get a report of what we're looking at. You know, oh look, Chad looked at 48 tits today. You got to make it an even number, right? And that should scare anybody, because this kind of thinking is not, if you would do this to your teenage son, probably the horniest sample there is when you're 16 and 17. If you would do this to your family member, there's no way you wouldn't do this to everyone. If you like this kind of content, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below. The Chud Report.
My accountability partner right now is Jack, my son.